Welcome to Halloween. It's the holiday version of Dan and Mike.
You know, I'm a terrible son. Either yesterday or today would have been my dad's birthday.
You're a terrible son.
I'm a terrible son.
Yes. Should we discipline you as Mark Smith would have disciplined you with the military boot to the backside? Can I do that today?
Not on camera anymore. Yeah. This chair that I'm sitting on is doing the job that I think that boot always did. Yeah.
The chair that no one wants to sit in. Mike has today. So.
Yeah.
Welcome to the program. Here we are on this October 31st. November begins tomorrow. Incredibly, the year has just disappeared from us. It's almost 2024. But we want to get you prepared for what's ahead, and part of that is letting you know what's going on in our community. And not only will we share the information news-wise, but sports-wise. We'll have a correction in sports from where I flubbed yesterday. We'll talk about that coming up also. And this date in history is our revolutionary moment for today. Not from this date in history, though, right?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. All right, all that to get to this. Weather.
I'll ask you the same question, viewers, that I asked our producer, Aaron Glandon, when I walked in the door this morning. Was there frost on your pumpkin?
We, the Ramey house, do not have a pumpkin out this year.
Would there have been frost if you had one?
Yes, because there was frost on top of the grill cover when I stepped out on the back porch.
Yeah.
And I also disconnected my water hose last night.
Good man.
Perchance it might freeze. And I emptied the rain gauge, which had 2 inches of water in it.
Yeah, that's good thinking. Need to do that, folks, as a reminder if you haven't done any of those things yet. But, yeah, it was cold out this morning, and it's not going to be real warm today, although pretty. Partly sunny skies, high 45. That's pretty much an instant replay tomorrow. And then temperatures in the low to mid-50s for Thursday and Friday. That's the high for those 2 days.
Your teeth will chatter and your eyes will squint today, unless you happen to have sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't be squinting as much.
As you can see, I'm wearing the heavy-duty apparel that keeps me warm today.
Short sleeves for me.
Yeah. And he'll be talking like this tomorrow when he comes in here. You've already had that, actually.
Yes.
A week or two ago.
That's behind me now. And hopefully not again for the rest of the year. Or the start of next year.
Until you pass it on to me. I'll be the one bringing it in from you.
It says you keep moving closer to me on that.
Yeah, he requested I move closer to him here a while ago.
Well, half of you was showing off screen there. So
that might be best, yeah.
And that might be kind of like a Halloween type thing. I mean, for instance, this would be your mask.
Yeah. I could be the Invisible Man. The program today, Claude Rains and the Invisible Man. Yeah.
Claude Smith.
This doesn't have the same ring to it.
Claude Cadiddlehopper. Now that had a ring to it.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
Yes, it did.
We're wasting time here. We've got news to share with you, and we'll do that for you in just a moment. But first, let's tell you about some of our fine sponsors, such as Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If it got cold last night in your neighbor's house, your neighbor's house, or your neighborhood.
What are you doing in your neighbor's house?
Or in your house in your neighborhood, whichever the case may be. It was cold out for you and the furnace didn't kick on. You need to reach out. It's way too late. You should have done it earlier, but you still have time. Jump in there right now. Click on this ad anywhere you see it. At littermedia.com for Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. It will take you right to their website where you can learn more. AccurateHVAC.com, by the way, is the actual web address. Your trusted comfort advisor, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. News is next.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team. 740-779-9652.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
You just mentioned Aaron Gland's name, and the audience just starts going up and up and up.
Yes. We were watching on our smartphones and not paying attention to what we're supposed to be doing. It is time to take a look at what's making news, which you can always find on our website, littermedia.com. But there are some things that we can't quite get to the website and touch for. That's why we use our social media. So
that is correct.
You can check us out here on Facebook, but also on Litter X. And our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to that. It's free.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on in the news.
Chillicothe and Lancaster among area communities that are doing their community trick-or-treat tonight. In Chillicothe, Ross County, trick-or-treat runs from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. The only exception is in Frankfort. The village had their trick-or-treating on Sunday afternoon, but everybody else in Ross County, including Chillicothe tonight, Lancaster City, and Fairfield County also doing theirs tonight.
I have my bowl of candy ready for the number of Halloween trick-or-treaters that we have had, beggars as it were. In the last 30 years, I think I've had 6.
Where I live in Frankfort, nobody comes out there. They're all in town. Of course, again, Frankfort had theirs, in the afternoon. And I thought it was because we was a scary neighborhood.
And you weren't home.
Well, no, actually I was. Actually, there were 2 people that parked in our driveway with permission, and they brought a little gal in, and I gave her some candy, but nobody else came. So
you have to go inside your house to get candy?
Well, I knew these folks, so we brought them in.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But now I'm eating that candy that I don't need.
That's what I do. I always get what I like. Because if we don't have trick-or-treaters,
yes,
I get to eat it.
You get to eat it, right. Yesterday morning, you were talking with representatives of Altrusa Club on the special edition. You want to tell us about that?
Kathy Velarde and also Linda Miller stopped in. Of course, coming up on November 11th is the date. It's the second Saturday of November. It's the Altrusa Club's Craft Bazaar, and you will find a wide range of items. They have 70-some vendors this year, which is incredible. And they use not just the elementary gymnasium, but they go through the Unioto Elementary hallways and to the auditorium, I guess, and other areas too. So find out what these ladies are talking about by simply clicking on our YouTube channel. You'll be able to hear what it's all about in its entirety right there.
Yes, sir. And we just had a special edition about an hour ago with representatives of Hope Partnership Project. Anna Armistead, Dr. John Gabus, and Nikki Priest were on hand. They were promoting the no-harm vending machines that will start showing up here in Ross County with a couple of libraries and branches, and eventually they will be at the libraries in each of our villages here in town, trying to save lives of those who are using harmful substances, especially that which has fentanyl. In fact, you're going to see these posters up in a lot of places throughout our community.
That's a telling picture right there with the pencil point, and you see just that little dab of fentanyl is lethal.
Yeah.
And how often have we heard over the years about the police officers who have been hit by this stuff when they're out treating people, not only police officers, but EMTs. So that's dangerous.
Yeah.
It really is.
So that is, if you didn't get a chance to see that interview live, you can go back and check it on our Facebook page, and it's posted also to our YouTube page. Would you or your business like to sponsor a teenager this holiday season? Well, the Ross County Social Service Council is the only group that focuses on Christmas assistance for kids older than 12 years old. If you'd like to get involved, contact Lauren Park by email at lpark@ztlsd.org for more information.
LSD? What?
Now, Dan, help the kids out this holiday season.
Let's go back to the Hope Project there.
That's right. Number of veterans programs. Most of our area schools participate in this, and a couple of them that we want to tell you about today. Southeastern and also Huntington. Southeastern High School will host their Veterans Day Assembly Wednesday, November the 8th. The assembly will be at 1 p.m. in the Larry Jordan Gymnasium, and it's open to veterans, friends, and family in the southeastern community. Now, Huntington is having their Veterans Day Assembly the following day. That will be on Thursday, November 9th, also at 1 p.m., and that will be in the high school gymnasium. If you are curious about, I know Adina has one coming up. If you have any questions about your school, whether they're having something like that, just give them a call. White Gravel Mines near Minford hosts the annual Christmas Cave beginning this is the weekend, November 17th, 18th, and that'll go each weekend through December 15th, 16th. The times are the same for each of the 2 weekend days, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m.
I've never been to see this, and I've got to make an effort this year to be able to see it. I do know that for some people who have difficulty walking, they have like this sulky you can sit in.
Oh, yeah.
And they have volunteers who help pull you through so that you can see this event. So everything I've always heard about it is just breathtaking.
But they do one for Easter, too,
They do
don't
one on Easter, yes.
So, but this will be the Christmas one, and it starts, again, the weekend of November 17th and 18th. And our road report for today, and this is going to be the final one we're going to give you for the winter, because if you look at our website, there's only 2 projects, and one of them ends this week. In Ross County, work for a bridge maintenance project on US 35 eastbound between Eastern Avenue and US 50 on the bridge over the Scioto River. At least 1 lane of traffic will be maintained on 35 eastbound throughout construction, westbound traffic not affected. This project goes through the winter. Now, if there would be some kind of a street or road situation that comes up over the next few months until the construction period, we'll get that in our topics. But as far as our daily road report, we suspend that for the winter months because they just shut down the asphalt plants and everything. So that's why we don't do one in the wintertime generally.
Of course, I'll still keep you up to date on what's happening on 772 because that's something I just can't stop doing. And today, the bridge over Paint Creek, just south of town, they milled the top of that, but today they have a temporary traffic light set up, and there's a fella jackhammering away.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't care what the temperature is, jackhammering at any temperature has got to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was doing what he could to bust up what concrete they could. So I don't know if they're going to put asphalt over top of that, or
I was just thinking about that. Were the asphalt mills shut down during the winter? Concrete, you might be able to continue to mix that and pour it out in the colder weather months. But asphalt, that's a no-go when it gets under a certain temperature. Yeah.
However, they still have a stretch to complete with asphalt and resurfacing on 772, probably about a 2-mile stretch thereabouts. And they have yet to do the other lanes if they're going to do that before 2024.
Right.
So
there you have it. Our topics for today.
All right. Coming up in just a moment, a look at sports and our revolutionary moment for you from the Nathaniel Massey chapter of the Daughters of American Revolution coming up in just a moment. But first, Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Have you called them yet? Do you need a dumpster? Well, they're the people to call, 740-253-8389. They'll bring a dumpster to you, whatever size you need, to your home or to your business. If you've got a remodeling project you're doing before the holidays, you need a dumpster. Give them a call, 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
Time for sports. A lot of high school activity going on. Where are we starting?
Well, our game of the week highlights from last week's Eastern playoff win. I think Aaron got that posted yesterday.
Yes.
I think I saw that. So check that out on Litter Media YouTube.
All the extras have been going on. That post-game celebration where Coach Barrow does the backflip.
There he is.
That's been getting a lot of attention. So you got to check.
And this is not something new. He's done this before. I think you did
Yes.
something on that last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So check that all out. At midnight this morning, the all-SVC football selections were announced on littermedia.com. Conference champion Eoto led the way. Sherman's quarterback Newt Hoops is the offensive back of the year. Paint Valley's Braylon Robertson is the defensive back of the year, and Matt Hoops is the coach of the year. Now there are lineman of the year honors, special teams. You can find all of that on our website story at littermedia.com. No tournament action of any kind last night, but the girls' regional soccer semis get underway tonight.
And this is where I need to make my correction. We had a slide we thought prepared for this yesterday, and then it wasn't when I was doing the show, and then I was working off memory, and part of that memory said Zane Trace. That was a host location for soccer tonight, not that Zane Trace was still involved.
That's correct.
My apologies.
As far as teams in our area, Division II girls at Athens High School, which is the Joe Burrow Stadium. Fairfield Union takes on Marietta. At Centerville, which is way over by Dayton, Bloom Carroll is, it says at Waynesville, but it should be versus Waynesville. We'll get that corrected. And at Zane Trace in Division III tonight, Lynchburg Clay against Leesburg Fairfield. Those are two Highland County schools, so they're not too far away from each other. The boys' regional soccer semis, that's tomorrow night. We'll tell you more about that then. Another loss for the Columbus Blue Jackets. They've been very competitive in almost every game they've been in this year. They lost 2 overtimes in a row, but yesterday evening in regulation, losing to Dallas by a score of 5-3.
Still trying to find themselves.
Without question. But, you know, when you're competitive, hopefully that means that the W's will eventually come. And last night was Game 3 of the World Series. The Texas Rangers, a 3-1 win over Arizona to take a, again, 2-1 lead in that best-of-7 series.
Bruce Bochy. He's got a way of making things happen.
He the man.
And tonight is when they release the college football rankings, the first one for the playoffs.
A lot of speculation is that Ohio State is going to be number 1. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think they're not the number 1. I don't even think they're in the top 3, frankly. But
yeah, and
I don't get a vote on that.
They've been third for I don't know how long, and I'm with you on that. I don't see them as the number 1
I think
team.
they're the quality wins that they're talking about. I don't think Notre Dame was as good as – because they lost after the Ohio State game again. You know, Penn State, are they that good? And this past week, they struggled most of the ball game before winning by 2 touchdowns. So I hope that everybody's right, but I just don't see it right
I don't have a problem with Ohio State struggling. You know, I get tired of watching teams just kill others every time.
You're not a typical Buckeye fan.
I know.
Because, oh my, if you don't win by 30, you're fire the coach.
Precisely.
And our buddy Matt Bruning just loves seeing that.
Oh, and he just does that to stir
the
it
fire.
up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if he had a team that he could actually be behind that would be successful, what it would be like.
Yeah. And nothing to report on Michigan yet, but that investigation continues. All the Buckeye fans are licking their chops. They see blood in the water. It's like Jaws. Yeah, here we come.
One of my former teachers went to the Ohio State-Wisconsin game, and at the game, there was someone dressed up. I'm going to guess this is his costume for Halloween, dressed up as Jim Harbaugh. With the binoculars and the whole deal, just like you've seen the post on Facebook of the pictures. That's really what he looked like for the game. I don't know if he made it on TV or not. I didn't watch all the games.
Yeah.
So
but supposedly Michigan has held back on a contract extension that he and the university were talking about until whatever's going to happen happens.
Did you see how he responded to some of the questions that were being asked?
I have not, no.
He basically started talking about horticulture. And it was funny. Every time it was brought up, he would talk about, planting corn and that sort of thing. Have you ever seen how corn grows? And that was his answer as deflection. It's
kind of like
Bill Belichick in some
remember
respects.
when Dan Rather was talking about what's the guy supposedly came up to him, what's the frequency, Kenneth? And yeah, strange. I don't know how to answer that. But
And for those of you that don't know why that happened, it was the U.S. Tennis Nationals, wasn't it? Or
they ran long.
the Tennis Open was running long.
Only left him 10 minutes, and he walked off the set. He refused to do the news. Yeah. What's the frequency, Kenneth?
That comes to a point where you're more important than the news.
Yeah, okay. I'm out of here.
It's about time. All right.
You've been dropping hints for so long. Yeah.
Well, you're the guy that's retirement
That's
age.
the second time I walked off the set today. Third time's a charm, they say.
Oh, well, you didn't
When
walk.
I did the Claude
Yeah,
Rains,
you kind of strolled off there for a moment. So we don't need the invisible man doing news. That's only a once time a
Only
year
on
thing.
radio. Yeah, right.
Precisely. All right, just ahead, our revolutionary moment and a radio moment for today. We have a kaleidoscope of photos to share with you, all just ahead here on Litter Media Live.
At Rathkamp Financial, we offer customized investment solutions and superior client service. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
There we are.
Pregnant pause.
Yeah, I've never seen it wait that long before. All right, it is time for our revolutionary moment, and we hearken back to what happening in our revolutionary history.
Yes, compliments of the Nathaniel Massey chapter of the Daughters of American Revolution. Closure of American ports undermined the 1778 strategy devised by General Howe's replacement, Henry Clinton. And that's who this guy is, Henry Clinton of the British Army. It was intended to take the war against the Americans into the South. Despite some initial success, Cornwallis was besieged by a Franco-American force in Yorktown in September and October of 1781 that eventually led to the end of the war. But the strategy was to force the colonial army down into the South, but this didn't work out the way the British wanted it to. And we ended up winning, by the way.
Which also didn't end up the way the British wanted it to.
Right.
Yeah.
But thanks again to the DAR.
USA.
They didn't have that chant, probably. I wonder what it was, probably. Colonial.
Yeah, I don't know what that'd be.
Yeah. George Washington. GW. Something like that, yeah.
Something that King George probably wouldn't have liked.
Oh, drink more tea.
Yeah, there you go.
Boston
Drink
Harbor.
more tea.
Yeah.
Remember the Boston Tea Party.
Take your tea and, yeah.
Tax it.
Right.
Tax this. And look where we are today with taxes.
Do we have to remind me? Now I feel depressed. I was happy before you brought that up.
Well, let's liven things up a little bit with a walk down our radio memory lane.
Okay.
And so this time of the year was
That's the milk outfit for me.
Dan and Mike Blood Bash, and this was the first Halloween version of the Blood Bash we ever had. We used to have it in June, and then they said, can we have another blood drive? And we said, sure. So this was in the Life Center at Tabernacle Baptist, if I'm not mistaken. That's Mary McCord and her buddy blood drop outfit. I was a hot dog. You are what you eat. And Mike was the Baby Ruth bar.
That's what some lady thought. I thought the gold cross was a dead giveaway. It was a monk, but yeah, she thought I was a turd. Yeah.
When she said that, I thought I was going to be a hot dog rolling on the floor. It was hilarious. So that is one of our still photos. And then we have a montage of photos as well. From many of the faces and people that we've seen in previous years. Raggedy Ann there, of course, Burt McGill. And that's my mustache that never would actually sit the way it was supposed to. Jan Corzine is what got me. There's Lisa Wrights.
Hey, that was the master or the grand marshal at the parade.
For the Halloween parade the other night. This was my favorite costume. Was the
that's Jan on the far right. Can you see him when he was a judge walking into court with a face like that?
Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't know if I got the picture to Aaron or not, but there was one photo where one of our coworkers, Laura Strasball, was sitting there having a conversation with Jan Corzine, and he's talking to her just like it's, they're having a regular conversation, but he's got his butcher knife out, and they're just talking, and it's hilarious because...
What would the caption say on this picture?
Precisely. So at any rate, those were the funs, but I wanted to bring up one more photo, if we could. We lost her back in 2018. She was always at every one of her blood drives. This is Laura Lovell. She passed away, like I said, in 2018. A remarkable woman. She not only was Claire Barton a number of times when we were here for this event, but she also actually had her pilot's license through the Civil Air Command in 1950.
Yeah.
She was a reporter with NBC News in New York City. She also had conversations with me. Sometimes after you give blood, you sit down in the canteen and you talk to people about things while you're eating your snacks and getting your fluids back. She was telling me about working at WCOL up in Columbus and for the Columbus Dispatch, and really how she was treated as a woman doing a man's job back then. It was incredible to hear her stories, and the last couple of blood drives we had, she was unable to be there. I think this was the last one she was at, but she passed away in 2018 at the age of 90, and she was always there to lift up our spirits.
A gal that we don't have a picture of her, but that was actually the originator of blood drives in this area, Ruby Flynn.
Yeah.
In fact, they eventually named an award after Ruby, which you and I were blessed to be able to get one time.
We were, and I thought it was kind of neat. They also recognized Dan and Mike at another event up in Columbus, only we couldn't be there because we had the radio show going on at the time. And our general manager, Dan Latham, and
Mike Island
from iHeartMedia in Columbus accepted as Dan and Mike.
Yeah, that was kind of neat, yeah.
First time we ever had a true Dan and Mike stand-in.
Right.
So that's our radio moments.
Some thought that was not possible, but they did it. They pulled it off.
Yeah, well, it was merely in likeness. We're the real deal.
Yeah, right.
Do we have another special event coming up?
You mean a special edition?
Yes, of Winter Media Live.
Tomorrow would typically be a Fairfield County day. We do not have one, so we won't even pretend that we have something. If we have Lancaster highlights like we always do, we'll bring those to you in our topics section. Thursday, Tiffany Baldwin's supposed to be here.
Tiffany Baldwin will be here to talk about the Rudolph Run, which is coming up December 6th. And this is the first opportunity to start talking about it. So I saw yesterday there was a Facebook post made by the group that is trying to get volunteers to sing along the route. I know when this event was sponsored and produced by Southern Ohio Survivors, I was a part of that. And we decided, hey, we got this running route. Why don't we get some carolers? So like Chillicothe City Schools provided some carolers. Some of the churches would do that too. So if you want to participate in that, check Downtown Chillicothe, Ohio on Facebook. You can probably find the information there so that you can participate in a supportive way for the Rudolph Run.
And then some folks from Tabernacle Baptist will be in on Friday morning at 10 o'clock.
Okay. All right, so all that is just ahead. So keep it tuned here to Litter Media. And, of course, listen to Litter Media Radio. You can find it when you click on Litter Media Radio on our website, littermedia.com. For Mike Smith, for the guy sitting to our left here, Mr. Hand, too. Can we see Mr. Hand? Thank you. Aaron Glandon, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow with another edition of Litter Media Live.